Hey guys, we're here to find out if Mr. Stevens is smarter than a fifth grader. So the first problem up is 56 and 78 thousandths plus 346 and 4/10. Let's see.
Okay, so as many of you know, I have not been focused primarily on math for years. The last time I've done a problem like this without a calculator, probably older than any of you. I'm trying to think that. I would say like middle school. Okay, so I'm going to work through it. Okay, so be listening and help me out as I go. Okay, that's why we have Ms. Caswell here with us today. Let's pick blue for good luck. Okay. All right, so one thing I know, Ms. Caswell, is I'm going to use my estimation skills, so it should end up at around 400.
I would agree with that.
Rough, like, so this is about 350
50.
here. That's, so maybe like closer to 410, but just ballparking it. So if I end up with like 40,000,
Oh,
yeah, something's going wrong.
red flag. Way
Okay,
off.
all right, so I am going to line up the decimal points because I want all of the place values to be lined up. Or a decimal point.
Well, Mr. Stevens, I can already see you may not be smarter than a fifth grader because
Oh, no.
it's very important to copy the problem down correctly, or the number.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Okay. Well,
I know you meant to do that just to see if I was paying attention.
Oh boy, we'll go with that. I'll tell you what. If you watch this video and you just caught that mistake, I will give you a sticker or something. That was bad. 56. Decimal point lined up. 7, 8. All right. So do I at least have the problem written correctly?
It is written correctly.
All right, so that's progress. Okay, so quick review of place values. So thousandths, right, way over here, right?
Correct.
Thousandths. Hundredths. Tenths. Oh, let me touch just in case. So thousandths, hundredths, tenths, ones, tens, hundreds.
Correct.
All right, sweet. Now, Ms. Caswell, I am correct to say I could add zeros here if I want, and that does not change the value.
That is correct.
Now, that's very different on this side of the decimal point.
Right.
Right. So these zeros don't affect that 4's value.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
If you write it like 400 thousandths, the visual model of it could be different.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But it's the same.
Same value.
Yeah, same value.
Okay. So 0 plus 8, I'm on it. So far, so good. 4 plus 0, 4. There's my decimal. 12. I'll regroup. Is regroup still okay?
Yeah.
Okay, regroup's good. 5. Regroup. 3 plus 1, 4. All right, so my final answer is going to be 402 478 thousandths. Did I even say that correctly?
At the decimal point, say and.
Oh, okay. Okay, so 402 and
478 thousandths.
402 and 478 thousandths.
Yes.
Okay. So,
And your estimate was good.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
right.
so
It's right in the
400.
ballpark. Especially when you're dealing with decimal points, you might want to stop and estimate. Otherwise, you could go real wrong.
Totally agree.
Okay, let's look at this one. And so now we have 654 and 87 thousandths.
Yep.
1 and 654 thousandths.
That's correct.
All right, sweet. All right, I'm going to copy it down correctly this time. 654. Line up the decimal points. That way all the place values will line up. 1 and 654 thousandths. Let's add them. All right. So do I have the problem written correctly?
I would think so. Looks good to me.
Okay.
Decimal points lined up. All place values are lined up.
Good. All right. So 654 plus 1. We should end up close to 655.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so here's my thousandth place. Oh, no, here's something interesting. Quick side note. I've always told my kids adding and subtracting to start with the ones place, but I really should start saying to the furthest right.
I always say the lowest place
The
value.
lowest place value. Okay, that's good. Lowest place value. So I'm starting with the lowest place value. 7 plus 4, 11. Regroup. 9 plus 5, 14. Regroup. 7. There's my decimal point. 5, 5, and 6. So I end up with 655 and 741 thousandths.
That's correct.
And that's right in my estimate zone. So we're good. Now, Ms. Caswell, I know you're busy. I'm going to skip right to a subtraction one.
Ooh.
Okay, so subtraction. Same idea. We got to line everything up correctly. 450 and 74 hundredths minus 126. Also, please remember, I forgot to mention this. You can always write the problem and solve it. Pause the video. You try to solve it before us. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm going to change it on the fly here, just so we can borrow.
Okay.
Is borrowing still appropriate
Yes.
to say?
Yeah, you can borrow.
What would-
Regroup.
Regroup. All right, let's do. I realize I'm going to write this wrong. Ignore this up here. Sorry if you are solving it. Let's change this over here to 1. All right. So let's start with the lowest place value. So tenths. 4 minus 2, 2. Now here's what I love about math. Even if you're not sure what this is called, you know it's, and watch me on this one. I'm out on a limb here. I think that this is 10 times less than that place value to the left.
Correct.
And it's 10 times more than this one to the right.
Right. Correct.
Yeah. So even if you're way over here in like the millionths, you still know to the right is 10 times less. 10 times less, and to the left would be 10 times more. So anyway, let me get rid of all that. So when I borrow 1 from here, I know that that's 10 of these.
Yep.
And the fancy mathematical way to say that would be 1 is worth 10 tenths.
And this is easy to think about because think about money. The ones place would be $1. The next would be dimes. How many tens would it take? You would have 10 there, and you add the 1.
It all makes so much sense. All right, so 11 minus 2, 9, decimal point. 7 minus 6, 1, 3, and 3. So what do we think?
Looks good to me.
All right, awesome. Ms. Caswell, you have been more than nice with your time, more than generous. Thank you so much.
And I think you proved you are smarter than a 5th grader, or at least as smart as a 5th grader.
Right, and I always tell my groups this, and now this is not math, but I say teachers aren't necessarily smarter, just more experienced.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's like we've studied, we put the time in.
Yep.
Like just all about putting the time in. So thank you so much. Let's all pretend I didn't write that one problem incorrectly, and have a wonderful day.